Welcome back to MMA Oddsbreaker. I'm Frank Trigg. This week, Paul Buentello, headhunter, getting ready to fight Myron Dennis up in Legacy Fighting Championships 29, Tulsa, Oklahoma, March 21st. Paul, let's get it out of the way first. 33-15, he's 9-2. You're gonna smash him. I mean, what's the deal? Like, I heard for a while you're having a hard time finding opponents. Did Myron step up?
Yeah, well, it's just that the whole thing is Legacy wants to give me a title shot because they pushed this fight out from January 31st, then to February 28th, and then now March 21st. So for me not to get mad or get upset, they're gonna let me give me an opponent, and they push it out and they make it a title fight. So it was supposed to be Aaron Rosas. But Aaron Rosas, I guess he's coming off of a loss from Bellator, I believe it is. So they want a guy that's going to be, has a good record, undefeated, has a good, I think Myron is on a 5 win streak right now.
Well, he's 9-2, and he's five fights in a row. He's won 5 fights in a row. Yep, you're right. He's killing folks. But I can kill a bunch of Girl Scouts too. It's like you got to have it's quality of competition. You've obviously had a tougher competition. You're down at 205, down from heavyweight. You're in a new weight class. You're a little bit lighter. You're a little bit leaner. The cardio problem you had at heavyweight, you don't have at 205.
Exactly.
So where's this guy win? Like I don't see it.
There's a lot of ways. If he puts the right combinations together, if he doesn't look past the aggression and try to hold back and try to get some experience to control the pace, because I will control the pace, and I have the experience to push it and pull it back, to push it and pull it back. He has nothing to lose. I got more to lose than he does. If he beats me, it's a stepping stone.
Right. He beats you. He's all of a sudden, he's on the map. People are going to be paying attention to him. It's going to be a guy that everybody's going to want to be a part of. You beat him. He's just some kid you beat up. So
exactly.
Really.
So I'm behind the 8 ball. I'm behind the 8 ball in a weird kind of way.
And it's funny that I actually have to come to you to find out how this guy's going to win to beat you. It's kind of strange. I just don't see it. I'm honestly, I don't have a clue. I talked to Nick Kalikas, the odds maker here at MMA Oddsbreaker, and he's not sure what to even know about the line yet because it's such a disparagement, with the record and with quality of competition and your new life down at 205 and his life is just not something that's come together right, and it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for him he's got a big hurdle to come over, but I've called fights before with guys I think should smash other guys, and they slipped on banana peels and got knocked out, and that's just kind of how it goes.
Exactly, and he does have the power in the hands. He doesn't have it one punch power, but he does have the power to even the odds up. But then again, every person I touch with my hands, from Alistair Overeem to Carter Williams to Andrei Arlovski, they shoot.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I noticed is going to happen. I asked Mr. Dennis about that, and he said for sure, he's going to try and take it down at some point because he has to. He's not going to be able to stand there and swing for the fences. He wants to tell that to the public that hey, he's going to stand there, he's going to swing for the fences, he's going to try and knock each other out. The reality of it is that once you get touched one time, even if you're the same way, if you get hit hard enough one time, you will change game plan because striking's not working anymore, and it gives you a chance to recover, get your cobwebs clear, and get your body set. Do you think, have you been practicing enough takedown defense that when you hit him hard the first time, knowing for sure if you don't drop him right away, he's coming in for a shot, you'll be able to keep him off and finish the fight in that fashion?
Oh, exactly. That's my whole life has been, every whole fighting career is land the strikes first and then defend the takedown and be confident and be, don't push the pressure. The biggest pressure I did was when I went against Arlovski, and that didn't take long. And I think I learned the hard way is that if I try to live by the sword too aggressively, I'm going to get caught.
Yeah, that happened with Tim Sylvia, back in 2010. It happened with Cole Conrad. He hit you a little bit early in 2011. He didn't knock you out, but he kind of caught you a little bit off guard. You weren't ready for it, and it seems since then, since October 2012, that you've done a lot better with that mindset. Now that you're down at 205, how has the training camp changed? Have you changed any partners? Have you changed any coaches in this whole process?
Well, since the whole beginning of the 205, this whole thing, I've been talking about it for years, and a good friend of mine here, I'm actually in Midland, Texas right now doing the training camp, and Brad Barnes, good friend of mine, known forever, and he goes, when are you going to make the jump? When are you going to make the jump? And I go, well, still catch weight 230. And he goes, no, you either suck up, don't be a puss, you're going to do this 205. You're going to resurrect your career or stay at 250 and fight around, and you're going to have to fight 10, 12 times to get back in the show. So I'm going back and forth, and I'm arguing with the phone on him, saying just kind of being wishy-washy. And then 3 days later, he calls me, goes, hey, I got you a fight at 205. you're fighting in 7 weeks. Get down here. And true freaking story. He goes, you're fighting in 7 weeks, so get down here. I have your nutrition. I have food. I have your food all figured out. I have everything here to get you down the weight. So when I walked in his doors 5.5 weeks out, I was 254, and my first cut for McSweeney was, I made 206, and that at 3 weeks, at 2 weeks out, I was still 238 from fight time. And right now that my body's used to it and the cardio's on point right now, I'm sitting at 224, 225, wake up in the morning, 220. Like probably tomorrow morning, I'll wake up 223. Because, once you burn while you sleep, I wake up 223, and I'm 3 weeks out.
And when you fought James McSweeney, that was back at Legacy Fighting Championships 22 in August of 2013, and you TKO'd him punches to the body. Which I was not expecting that at all. I was expecting a good old-fashioned jawbreak, and you ended up wrecking his ribs.
Yeah.
Is that always been some part of your repertoire, getting into a guy's body, or is it something new because everyone knows, hey, you're the headhunter, he's coming for my head, and the defense is getting better? Okay.
Well, I'm being here in Midland, Texas with Bruno Bastos, which he's just a world-renowned jiu-jitsu guy. He plays the sport of jiu-jitsu. He's pretty good on his no-gi, and he's been around the world. And just basically what Brad Barnes makes me do, he's like, hey, get your ass up. You're putting on the gi today. And I'm putting on the gi 3-4 times a day now. Okay. I'm actually a 12-year brown belt now. I mean, blue belt. I tell Bruno all the day I'm a brown belt in my own head. But, I got to convince him to give me a brown belt. But 12-year blue belt, I got one little stripe on it. Not nothing really crazy, but I've been in the gi. And working with Bruno before the McSweeney fight, we knew he was going to shoot. And when he took my back, if you notice, I was real relaxed. I wasn't worried about it because I've had Bruno and all these black belts on my back just endlessly just choking me out with the gi, choking me out without the gi. And I was confident when I was in McSweeney's guard and reversed that, got on top. But when I had him, when he shot that shot, because, he felt his striking wasn't getting, I was catching up with my jab, catching up with my right hand. He shoots, turned him, got him down. And what we worked on is a simple leg drag. And every time I try to do that on Bruno, I go for the leg drag, and yes, I strike for the head, go for the head. And he just reverses me, sweeps me, no problem at all. I'm like, shit. And he goes, son, why you go for the head? He goes, go for the body. I can't protect the body. I know you're going to hit me in the head, and I'm just going to reverse you. We drilled it 2 weeks before the fight. I saw the opportunity in the McSweeney fight and took advantage of it.
Now, there's a lot of pressure to some of these fighters because, like I talked to Leonard Garcia, who's the main event on this fight card. He's trying to get back to the UFC, and UFC is looking at Legacy and RFA as their two kind of, developmental leagues. There's a lot of guys that have not quite made it to the UFC are getting jumped up from there, and a lot of guys have fallen off and gotten their way back up again. Is your ultimate goal, I don't even know why I'm asking this, your ultimate goal obviously is to get back to the UFC because that's where the payday is, that's where the money is. They call you and say, look, we have a spot for you, but it's at heavyweight. Do you tell them no, or do you take the job at heavyweight if the UFC calls you?
After my McSweeney fight, I text Joe Silva. I said, hey, I'm ready to go, boss. Put me in, coach. Give me 5 weeks for 205 and give me 2 weeks for heavyweight. He laughed and he goes, just keep winning. That's all he could say. Yeah. Just keep winning. But I can make 205, and if I stay around 240, 235 like everybody else does, I can make 205. The hardest part with the cut was the last pound and a half. Because I already been in the sauna for an hour and I already had the plastics on, and I was coming from 229, and it was just downhill and mentally draining. So this time I'm in a good spot right now. I can make the weight tomorrow. I can make the weight, what's today, Tuesday? I can make the weight Thursday.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Paul Buentello. He's fighting Myron Dennis coming up here at Legacy Fighting Championships 29, March 21st in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It can be seen on Access TV if you have that station. Paul, thanks for coming on here. I appreciate it. Good luck against Myron. Like I said, I think it's a no-brainer for me. I think you go out there and you can put a beating on him. You beat the brakes off.
I got to stay focused, though, Frank. I got to stay focused. You know what I mean? I have a lot more riding, but the thing is, I'm not looking past him. There's a lot of things coming in, and I'm like, let's just focus on Myron, and then we'll figure out everything else. It's going to be interesting. I want to give you. I've been releasing videos, kind of like my past, what I've been going on and stuff. And this next video I'm going to release, it's going to be really, really good because it's going to show. It's going to get the deep side of the whole cutting weight and how mentally I lost it during the weight cut. And I go into a story about how I felt the last time I was in the UFC, the last time I felt when I fought Tim Sylvia. I was basically in a depressed mode, and weight cut this last time in August really brought that out of me, and I realized at that weight cut that if I can do this mentally, is nothing's going to break me ever again. So it's going to be a good video. Hopefully, it'll come out this Friday or the following Monday. But it's going to be pretty neat to see the inside of how mentally I was just fucked up. I was mentally drained on that whole weight cut, and it brought out all the bad memories of UFC. It's like I tell the UFC, I want to go back, but I feel like I owe them 2 fights. I surely chunned on Struve. I pussed. I gave up against Congo. It's just mentally drained, and I owe them fights. So I want to get back.
Where can everyone catch these videos when they come out?
YouTube, Paul Buentello TV on YouTube. They'll be on the Facebook website, and just try to blast them out. Then I'll send you a link as well.
Perfect. Make sure you guys check it out. And Paul, thanks for coming to MMA Oddsbreaker. We'll talk to you soon, bud.
All right, boss. Thanks.